And the last night we smoked Hulk Hogan, man. Yeah. It was friggin' badass.
But you liked Baja Blast flavor for a while, right?
Did I? I don't think so.
One of the friends did.
That sounds pretty good, to be honest.
It was really accurate. Was the weird thing is I hit it one time and I was like, that is that exists, you know. It was accurate. We live? We on?
Welcome back to another Dude Actually podcast. We are joined a very special guest, Mr. Joy on Purpose, Ben Webb.
Oh, that's me. Oh. I was looking over my shoulder like, well, who do you got? Somebody of substance? Cool.
Guys, as always, this podcast, every podcast you've ever seen and every podcast you will ever see from us, moving on in the future forever and ever until everybody associated dies, is sponsored by THC Dispensary. Check out the next podcast we're going to do. I'm going to have a bunch of little promotional things for their 420 sale. I unfortunately still have not gotten those juicy details, but we're getting there.
Shout out, and as always.
Oh yeah, shout out beer. We are sponsored also by beer, not this beer, but beer in general.
Yep, hit us up if you'd like to be the beer.
Yep, hit us up if you're beer and you want us to sponsor your beer specifically.
Nice, got a beer slot.
Yeah, we have a beer slot. Dude, how you doing, man? It's so good to finally have you on, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, just it's been an odd week because I had a week off from work, so my time and my schedule is usually I've got the work schedule kind of ordering out the day when it's almost like it was back in quarantine and COVID where all we knew was stay home, don't go to work, and don't do this. Any other updates? No. Okay.
Why'd you have the week off?
Yeah, because part of what my work asks us to do is sometime in the calendar year pick at least 5 days in a row away from the office, sometime in the year, as a way to help use the time as well as just mental, emotional health, all of that.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the year, I essentially just kind of did the blindfold, that one, picking the week after my birthday, and I didn't know later on in the year that one of the things I would say yes to is to start auditioning for my first musicals, and I actually got in one, and I looked at the show schedule, and opening night is my birthday, and the tech week and all of that, so that following week where we finally have the rehearsal time back, and we're starting up week 2 tomorrow night, but I could not have picked a better time because I was wiped out by
that's kind of cool,
Sunday.
Because that's the first musical you've ever done, so your opening night was the first night you've performed in a musical in front of a live audience.
On your birthday.
On your birthday. That's a cool way to ring in the new year, you know?
It's hard to pick something, but as a performer, like that's where you want to be, is plying your craft of something that I have is something you're paying for. It's whether it's the release of laughter or emotion or a familiar story, or with this, I mean, who doesn't know some kind of iconic song from Sound of Music? I mean, it's just packed full of those songs, and you got cute kids, and you got all that. I get to be the head jerk, the Nazi guy that kind of comes in and presses the story forward. It's been my respect for musical actors is like through the roof now. So I mean, because to do what you do well is one thing. To remember all the blocking, the dancing, the breath control, all the behind the scenes stuff of that when this scene starts, you have to be over on this side of the stage quietly
and make sure you're in your new costume.
Yeah,
and you're not coming out before or after this person. You're coming out specifically when you need to hit your marks. Like
exactly. The main leads and all the kids have at least like 7 or 8 costumes. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Man, when I was doing musicals, the music was the easiest thing to remember, but the lines for me, that was the biggest anxiety. Is like it wasn't stage fright. It wasn't. It was just remembering my speaking parts. And so I tried to always audition for like mainly singing parts. You know, I'm like, I don't want a whole lot of stage time talking. Don't want the monologues at all. That would be a terrifying thing. You know,
I was Shrek's dad.
In Shrek the musical,
I was Shrek's dad. Father. I had a song at the beginning, and then I came back at the very end.
Packed your sandwich for your trip.
That's actually something I'm thinking about auditioning for, because at the end of April, in the Elkhorn Community Theater, they're doing that. And I was told to consider like Lord Farquaad, and because apparently that's a good one for a comedian.
No, that is 100%.
Pinocchio's a good one for a comedian to do too.
Okay.
A lot of like fun, of fun movements and like just jokes with the nose and stuff.
Donkey is also good.
Donkey's probably
Donkey's
the
a
best
fire
one
for
to
a
do,
comedian.
actually.
If you do it well,
Farquaad or Donkey
Yeah.
would probably be like of the same caliber.
Yeah, or Shrek. You could totally do Shrek.
There's a number of them that I've seen clips of, because I didn't grow up as a theater kid, so I'm trying to catch up at age 42 of, like, why are you so excited that this is a part of the next season? I don't quite get it. And then I go see these productions, and time again, it's like,
Yeah.
I see why you were jazzed to have that, because I would have liked to have known prior to us starting, but that's kind of funny how our mind works, that your regular lines would be tougher than the singing stuff, because a lot of people are like, be terrified about, I sing in the shower, I sing at home when I'm cleaning, when I got my headphones on, I know how I sound, like that would be terrifying to get up on stage and do, and other people are just getting up in front of people, period, is stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
So it'd almost be worth it to say, well, could I sing my lines? Is there some way? I'm sorry about your father's diabetes. You know,
That should be sung.
Yeah.
That's a line that needs to be sang, dude.
Yeah, well, we had a good friend in high school that he was a really good actor. So all the plays, all the musicals. How many? There's 2 plays a year and 1 musical.
There's 2 plays, 1 musical.
And he'd have a major part in every single
Chase?
one of those.
Chris.
Except for the musical, because he didn't have a background in singing, and we had a background in choir, which we're like, all right, we'll do the musicals, like we'll try out and stuff. And I was in good with like the music teachers that kind of like do the auditions, and so they knew like he doesn't want a lot of talking, like just give him a singing part, give him a background thing. I'm like, perfect. It was just a fun way to like stay engaged in the whole thing. Otherwise, like, I wouldn't have been a theater kid if it weren't for that one person that I'm like, man, you're always doing this after school. Now we can't hang out.
Why
so we better all just do theater then.
The only reason I did plays was we were doing it was the
Little Shop?
No, it was not Little Shop. It was the one about arsenic.
Arsenic and Old Lace?
Arsenic and Old Lace. And then I came into the theater, and you guys, I just like sat with you guys, and then we all became friends.
Yeah.
And then we did Zach Barr's the musical.
Sat with, and we all became friends.
We did. And
That's
then,
how easy it is for guys.
Hey, that's how it
Women
happens.
are like, I had to kill 3 other women.
It's like some kind of shared common interest, or we couldn't get rid of them, and now we kind of like them. Like you just get that kind of exposure therapy. Like, okay, he's not that bad.
It's like
And
we
then-
were,
That's how it happened.
we were wearing the same shoes one day in 7th grade, and now we're best friends for life. Like, it's like, wow, that's your whole backstory. Wow, that's great.
Oh yeah. If there's something that we overhear, and we have a moment where we kind of lock in and say, okay, I heard you mention something about Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, what's your favorite saga? What do you like, Frieza? Perfect Cell? This thing? If we can start rattling off names or whatever it is, you're like, okay,
Yeah,
we're friends.
boom, friend for life.
100%.
That's it.
100%. For girls, it's like, oh my God, I hate Katie. Oh, you hate Katie? I love Katie. Oh, I hate Katie too. Then they just like, I don't know.
What, you have to hate Katie to be friends with a woman?
I think so. That's what I was told in the Bible.
Dude, Katie's such a bitch.
Dude, yeah.
Fuck Katie, dude.
I mean, that's how girls become friends.
The nerve to have a name with a hard consonant. I mean, that's a rough.
2 of them.
Yeah.
True.
Kate.
Yeah.
Kate. I actually hate like I don't like, the only thing I don't like about my name is starting a word with an R. Is like a train wreck of a sound, like Reese. Like, hi, I'm Reese.
Same with Zach.
I like Zach. No. Zach is close enough to an S, which is a very easy thing to do with the tip of your tongue.
People can't
like,
hear my name.
Reese, you have to like pucker, and you have to like Robert, Like Reese is worse because it's just like a bunch of E,
And plus Zach, you got a grown-up version, Zachary. That's a very thing. Ben and Benjamin. It feels what Reese.
Yeah.
Where do you Reese?
I'm gonna be 80, and I'm just gonna go by my middle name, Jeffrey. Oh man, you should have.
You missed Tuesday.
Tell him about Tuesday.
Oh, dude. So we went
April
to Quick Draw.
Fools, right?
April Fool's Day.
Of course.
And months ago, Reese talked about, like, dude, it would be really funny, like, to do a Jeff Shank set sometime. And I was like, yeah, it would be. And then I was like, yeah, dude, I'll do a Rashad set sometime if you do a Jeff Shank set.
And I had a whole set written out, right? Like, it was just some really dumb stuff that was, like, kind of funny, but not... Like, I wanted to pay his style and his comedy and, like, what he writes about, like, a real homage. Like, I wanted to, like, be respectful about it.
Honor him.
And I lost... It was on a loose leaf, and I put it in my shit, and it's just, like, not there. So I, like, quickly wrote a set before Tuesday.
I was like, Reese, yeah, we're still doing this today.
And I was like, fuck.
Yeah, he was like, I could maybe write a new one. And I came over to his place with a beanie on, 2 shirts, 2
white
pairs of
shirt
pants,
under his shirt.
a big pair of sneakers. And I was like, yeah, I'm Zach Rarshad. Reese, are you seriously not going to do, you're not going to do a Shank set? I just, look at what I'm wearing.
So it was Jeffrey Shank and Zach Rarshad. And we both just like, we just
Thankfully, they were there. Both Shank and... So we went, it was a Stormy opened up, and then it went Jeff Shank, Jeffrey Shank, Rashad, Zach Rarshad.
Yeah.
So it was... Yeah, it was a beautiful. And then Rashad, during it, like his first set, he was normal. Second set, he came up, and he was Cole Sitka. He just out of nowhere.
The whole, I don't know why, but he was like,
oh yeah, like Rashad's so hot and so funny, so much funnier than I am.
Sydney,
and,
but Rashad's so hot.
and we were like, Rashad. It was so fun. And just for his second set, he's just doing his thing, and he was like, man, I want to be somebody too. But like he kind of missed his mark because it was like I would not have done the Shank set if Shank wasn't in the room. Like that's the whole April Fool's thing. Like it's like I'm not gonna play some sick joke on somebody or give somebody some fake bad news, but to like do another comedian's like my version of their set was like it was awesome. I had a joke about like
I don't like.
I'm not gonna repeat that one.
No.
That one was just for the people that were there on Monday for
Tuesday.
the Dubliner. Well, for the Dubliner.
Oh yeah, he did.
I wouldn't
that.
have wrote that joke if he didn't do that set on Monday.
Jeff Shank went nuclear this Monday.
He dropped like 48 nukes on the stage.
Yeah, he
and
committed war
a lot of it
crimes.
was racially stirring, and he's lucky that the people that weren't white in the room all like had a good sense of humor about it. They actually did love it.
And then we were all like, Shank, which doesn't
That's
help.
not true. We did that when he was walking on.
Yeah, that's
not
true.
when he was walking.
When he was walking off, we were
when
like,
he was done, we were like,
Jesus,
I don't know if we're gonna chant his
We
name.
went, oh, goodness.
Yeah, white people chanting right now does not seem like the vibe.
No. That was crazy, dude.
But I made one of the jokes was like the other day an overnight RN made a pass at me at work, and by that I mean she passed right by me. Joke's on her. I got a 4-second whiff of her non-slips. And that was like one of my Shank jokes.
That's such a Shank joke, too.
And then I had like one of them just pulled in a random governor's name. I don't even know what I said. It was like Governor Rayner. That is
you did
what
say
Governor
Governor
Rayner,
Rayner.
and that's not. I just made up. Yeah, like at least released an official statement saying whatever the fuck. Because like at least 2 of his jokes every set, it's some government person that he like references. You know, President Trump made an
Nancy
executive.
Pelosi.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi.
God,
And the whole time I was doing this.
Yeah.
to look as much like him as I could.
He had
like
a tucked
flaring
in
my
shirt.
nostrils. Yeah, I had
Yeah, some of the political references that some people will come in. It's hard to kind of focus in completely in there because part of your brain is like, oh yeah, and as you know, Comptroller Sharts Thompson said the other day, and under the table you kind of do a quick Google. So
You're like,
who is this?
I feel like that's how a lot of people like miss their marks, you know, or like the joke misses the audience. I've heard a lot of jokes that probably could be funny if I knew what they were referencing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, my food stall joke never worked, and it's because I was the only one getting that algorithm.
You're the only one getting consistent India food stall ads on your
Yes, all the time, and I thought everyone got them. So when I made a joke about them, nobody got them. And it also...
Well, the thing is, way back when, it popped up, and you just sat and watched it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Zuck
why
is
you
like,
get.
that's what this
He's
man
like,
needs.
he likes this.
He wants more of these.
Like they scan. Like I've heard, and I don't know that this is factual, but they scan. There's an AI that scans like what your face looks like, not just your face, but like what your expression. If you're enjoying this, because a lot of people don't like. If you like something, you're like, that was really good.
On
And then you
watch
just,
time.
probably. But I think your front camera also scans and like facially recognizes like what you're
That would be terrifying.
That would
like,
skew information right off the bat. I know, because I'm to be able to keep it real here. There's sometimes when I'm at open mics and I have to turn on to the expressions and the reactions to let them know, yeah, things are working or whatever. When the lighting is up and everybody can be seen. When it's darker, you can just kind of chill and all that. But if that were true, that's going to skew the data real bad, because I'm sure you guys can. That sometimes a good amount of time when you're scrolling, it's
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. If you get that, it's
every once in a while, like this little corner will like raise up
Yeah.
like a quarter of an inch. You know,
it's like, do we just give them flesh covered makeup ads? Do we some kind of like weird Botox thing, like a frozen face thing? Depends thing. I don't know if he's relieving himself
that's
or
the
what
face of incontinence right there.
Just you gotta concentrate. So that's why I need to really focus on this "Whose Line Is It Anyway" clip to help me through the last push. And
That's how it be, dude.
It's like, no, we're getting important marketing data here. Scan them again.
Keep analyzing.
Analyze. It adds.
I don't care if we lost another. Keep analyzing.
It's like, oh, he cut himself shaving. Okay, send the war ads. Recruit this man. he must know a thing or two about tampon. Flood his feed.
Dude, and it's crazy.
Give him some Diva cups.
Because like everybody knows their phone listens to them at this point. Like when that first came out, right? Everyone was like, "No, they wouldn't. There's not. My phone's not just listening to me and tailoring ads and things like that to me." And it's like, everybody's pretty with it now at this point. They're like, yeah, that's exactly what your phone's doing. Like every season, I go on the same vacation and I go snowboarding and skiing in Colorado. And like every single year, like 2 months before, I get all this fucking, buy these goggles, buy this helmet. Here's all these fucking reels of people jumping
It knows
on
your
jumps.
location data too.
This is before I leave.
It knows your location data from when you are there.
Okay,
It
yeah,
knows
that
it's your
makes
time, dude, and it knows what you look up around then, and you watch those videos.
Yeah, but
You watch those sneeboarding.
Snowboarding?
Snowboarding.
I actually do.
That's a Dr. Seuss.
especially before I go,
guess. I don't know. If Seuss made a snowboard, it would be a sneeboard.
Yeah.
Continue, sorry.
No, it's especially before I go. It's been like a year since I've like gotten to do the shit, and I'm watching all these videos. I'm like, yeah, oh my god, that looks so much fun. Oh my god, I hope I keep getting more of these. I hope everything I scroll past is just like skiing and snowboarding.
I want you to buy something.
Tailored ads are weird, man, because. I've tested this. You remember when we were saying delousing powder, or was that me and Wesley?
You also said something. We said something.
We were talking about delousing powder around my phone for a long time. I never typed it out. I never looked it up. I never did anything except for talked about at least once or twice a day. I'm pretty sure it was with Wesley. I talked about delousing powder, how I really need to find a good brand, and I need delousing powder. Sure the fuck enough, I got ads for it on my Facebook. Delousing powder. Like, why the fuck would I get delousing powder ads out of nowhere? That's just too circumstantial.
It's like, something new. Let's get it into his feed, see how he responds to it. And yeah, just every now and then, if you wanted to think of things to mess with it, just see if that would affect your normal conversations. Have friends that have similar things that you usually talk about, and just every now and then. Dogs, Bible study, bikinis, taco meat, and see what it does to kind of throw things
horsemen,
in there.
Dude. That's the 4 things people need. Dogs, Bible study, bikinis, and taco meat.
Honestly, I could live the rest of my life on
Same.
those 4
That's
things.
the 4 things I could need.
Can we eat the dogs?
You could mix the dogs would make the taco meat.
Okay, because we could feed the dogs the taco meat and just eat the dogs.
Well, then you could feed the dogs the taco meat, turn them back into taco meat, and it's like a reduce, reuse, recycle.
Or
the bikinis, recycle bikinis.
We make the money from our business where we use the same room that we do our Bible studies in, and we put backdrops in the room, and we feed the dogs like taco meat and stuff to keep them like nice and bulky, and we do like a swimsuit model for dogs.
Yes, with the bikinis.
With bikinis,
big
You can sell more of those kind of bikinis because there's like 3 or 4 tops. With the 8 nipples.
Exactly.
Sell more material. Dog bikinis. Dog octoginis or whatever that.
They're not bikinis anymore.
No, they'd have burlesque shows, and they're like 6 nipple
well,
lingerie, dude.
Not in the Bible study room, probably.
No, that's for the priest. That's for the
like-
priest only.
Welcome the next act, which is a golden, and the front of your pants might be a little white. That's where I would.
They're not spayed, ladies and gentlemen.
This one hasn't gotten its spring grooming yet. Lots of hair on this haunch. What do they call them? Well, they used to call horses nags, and they used to call dogs. It was like a 3 cur. Yeah, C-U-R.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah.
an old cur. If you got an big old dog, it's
Why?
a cur. I don't know. It was like more cowboy days.
Yeah, rural kind of back in the day. I remember that word, but yeah,
That's interesting.
yeah, I forgot that it applied to dogs because I'd be used to hearing it in westerns or in kind of literature of calling somebody else a cur, and that's supposed to be an insult. And,
You would dog,
Yeah, you loud.
but in a bad way.
Yeah. I used to read a lot of Louis L'Amour.
Yeah, he's was he one of the inspirations for Justified, that TV show? Or
I don't know, but he was pretty much
Sounds
everything he
familiar.
ever wrote was Western, you know.
Okay.
And so I read like too many of his books, probably like 30 of his fucking cowboy books. I don't know why. I just hated myself at the time, I guess. It's something about like going back in time like that, you know.
and he walked into the saloon with the dust making him seem more ancient than he was.
Yeah.
And he looked up, kicked up his hat, and said, "My name is Reese." We knew not to mess with this man. Yeah, it's just. I think honestly, that's one of many differences. I don't think too many women visualize themselves in those environments, and truthfully, so that's fine, because there are not a whole lot of eras or historical spots are kind to women, even today. Yeah. But I think there's a number of guys that at least once in their life have envisioned themselves on the horse, walking to the saloon with the full get up thing with the hat. You got to have the hat, just to see what that feels like to have stuff that you can sling lead on your hips, walking in like a badass, Yeah,
There's,
100%, dude. You got every man has pictured themselves as the last samurai. Like you're on like a hill with a sword, and like everybody's coming at you, or like you're in the fucking Trojan or Roman Empire, and you're like, like it's one of the Spartans. Like that's
like
just
that.
guy brain.
There's like that template going around. There's like 3 man deaths, and one of them is like slowly freezing to death. One of them's like going out like outnumbered at the end of like a great series of battles, and like a real true what do they call not the
Roman
an epic
warrior?
Like when you go through one, and then I'm forgetting the third one. I think the third one's actually just like dropping dead.
Just a quick.
But I always thought like I'd probably want to do the battle.
The battle for sure. I'd want to jump on a grenade, but like with hedgehog spikes in my back. So like when it blows up, it like kills the whole phalanx.
I mean,
honestly,
you've got the zombie films that have a number of those moments that you could have, but one of the best that I could think of when you're saying that, one of the top ones has to be that like Terminator 2 guy, where the guy had just been shot all up, shredded, whatever it is, and he's holding above the bomb trigger, and he's holding as long as he could until they get out, and then finally and blows the whole thing. Like that's a man death right there. Yeah. Hold it as long as you can. And my
goodness, yeah.
I was always I like the Boromir type of death, you know. Fucking 3, 4, 5 arrows in me, and I'm still like, like I know it's over, but I'm taking as many of these,
Take
that's
those
if that's a metaphor for manhood, like that, it might sound dramatic to say that's what a number of days feel like, but to go to work full day and deal with all that, and you've got all kinds of things, you've got scrape marks from someone who sliced you, and you've got things sticking out of you, and right before you go through the door to take off that hat and put on husband, boyfriend, parent, whatever it is, you're taking whatever you can out of there, sticking some alcohol, you hiss through the sting of it or whatever it is, and you endure. Men just will endure and do what you can, hopefully to not get stuck as many times the next day. But I mean, if it gladly helps whoever it is beyond that door to never feel the sting of what that is to go into us, we will gladly take several to the back or whatever each day if that's what it takes so that they can be good. You know?
100%.
It's that sitting in the driveway for like 10 minutes Like, to your car's off, it's like silent, you know. You, like, decompress real quick, and then you go into the house. Kids are screaming, dogs are barking, you know. It's like that moment of decompression. You're like, all right, it's been like 10 minutes. I better get inside.
It's nice. You need that moment.
That's when you know you've had like a long day, because you're like, God, I mean, I could just sit here for just a second more.
It's one of several reasons why there's a lot of men who enjoy the video game stuff. Is we can relate to quite a bit of that, but especially when you hit the button and it's starting up, everything's kind of getting going. You got the light, you got the familiar sound, it starts to bathe the room. We have to do a Control-Alt-Delete or turn off parts of ourselves, compartmentalize a little bit, so that time in the car, however small or whatever you need to do. Sometimes it's drop your stuff off inside first and then go check the mail, or whatever the routine is to help you click over into, you're essentially firing up, hitting the button and having it fire up. Okay, we're switching over. It can never be a hard, okay, work is done, I'm immediately this. There's no immediate. We need to have music. We need to have the time, the drive home, whatever the thing is to switch over. And most men, not boys and men frames, men, once we got that time, we're good. We can make that switch, but we do need that time to kind of decompress. And anything that kind of comes in and violates that or whatever, it's like you're breaking the code of, no, this is the time when I'm booting back up. It's like the start of a movie or something like that. You're quiet. You respect the time. I'll be with you. It won't take that long, but allow me. Allow the title screen to come up at first.
Yeah, exactly.
Allow the sound to be tested. The THX.
Exactly.
Thing. Allow me to do that. Yeah. And I'll be with you. I promise. Yeah. I think there's something similar with going from work to home. Home to comedy, whatever it is. Comedy to a lesser degree, because it's more, it could be more play, but there's work as well, and depending on who's there, you have to maybe scan the room and like, okay, I need to work myself up before I talk to that one. But most of these others, hey, how's it going, man? Hey, how are you doing?
I'm like, I don't know if I'm there I don't know if I'm there yet.
You think of something weird or what? Let me go wash my elbows. I gotta. You just buy yourself some time, you know. It's like I have not prepared for you being here.
Yeah. I really like to show up early to events that it's not weird to. Like if it's a party or something like that, late is better, you know?
Oh, yeah.
But like, man, the comedy stuff, I like being early because there's not a bunch of people there. You have like a moment to like, I don't know, everybody like seems to be coming to the space you're already familiar with. You're like ushering them in.
Yeah, we get there like an hour early sometimes. And it's nice to have that moment. Also just to prepare like, okay, time to go into comedy mode. That's basically the sitting in our car. Like
it is, yeah. We grab a beer. You and I usually don't talk that much.
Like, no, we just like
before.
sit.
Yeah, we just sit.
Just hanging.
I'll be like writing.
It's a dark room. It's nice.
Yeah, that first beer goes down slow, man. That first beer is like a 30-minute beer for me, and then I do the set, and then there's like 2 or 3 more beers that are much quicker beers.
Much quicker beers.
Celebration beers.
Yeah, you need it.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
hopefully. Yeah. Otherwise, it's depression beers, which also...
I've not done
we haven't
Stellar
bombed
a few times in the last few months, but like, I haven't actually bombed since one of the first times. I know it happens every once in a while.
October was the last, maybe like sometime
I remember because the last time I bombed, it had been after like 2 or 3 times of like actually doing good.
Yeah.
And people being like, hey man, I like that. And I'm like, hey, I'm really new to this, so that means a lot to me because I have no confidence in this yet. And then I like bombed again, and I like for 2 days I was like, yeah, Zach, I mean, I'll go to all the stuff and everything, but I just don't think it's for me. I think I'm done with it. And Zach was like, no.
On the podcast, I was like, Reese, no, you have to do this. You're not allowed to quit, dude. You're a great comedian. And boom. We haven't done poorly in a long time.
We haven't. I also want to know when the fuck that dick got there.
I know Dee did it, but I don't remember when we pinned it on. I thought that same thing today. I was looking up and I was like, what?
Yeah, I've never seen that dick pinned on to that photo right there.
Yeah, well, I was like, yeah, the dick is really funny. And then Dee drew a bigger one and then put it on there. Yeah, Dee's the artist for all of our, like, that and all of our, like, albums and everything. He's the guy. If you ever need a logo for anything,
Well, yeah. If I need something swollen, then apparently, yeah.
If you ever have very veiny desires.
Yeah, if you want veiny desires, thickness. That's life.
Like, yeah. Have you ever pictured it with an elbow, though? Yeah. Just.
Yeah.
This is the cover to my Bible study. I don't.
Your Bible study dog bikini calendar business logo.
Canine octokini.
Yeah, I don't think
With
we need a
taco
penis
meat.
in
Yeah.
this.
You need taco meat.
Oh yeah, you gotta have that. Nice and tender.
Yeah, just use the
What
dog
kinda-
as a shell.
What kind of weird person has a calendar like that? Like, like some people I've seen, like my grandma had an old firefighters calendar, like the typical.
Old firefighters?
Well, I mean, it was
Well-
it was like a 90s calendar.
Oh, okay.
When
Were
I
they
helped her move last
aged at
year,
that
I was
time,
like,
or-
grandma, and it was still on her fridge. Like
Nice.
these days do not match up to any of these months. It was like not on the right month, but it'd been there probably since the 90s. I mean, the photo quality was bad,
Well,
I mean, not
sh-
terrible, but bad.
I mean, sure, we're in April, but my heart is with Mr. October. So we're just going to have him stay.
Yeah, and it's weird because I went downstairs. I'm helping my grandparents move into a smaller spot, and she's got that on the fridge. And I go downstairs in the laundry room. My grandpa has just like pretty much like a pinup girl in a way, but like more of a modern. I would say probably an 80s or 70s poster. Just like tits out, like right above the dryer, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what do you guys do? Like what do you guys talk about? Like, you guys got like your eye candy and his eye candy in like respective locations, and
They gotta say something young.
well, I don't know. Yeah, I'm like, that's great because I'm looking at the firefighter. I'm like, no shot that guy's older than me. Like the man in this picture, when this picture was taken, that's a 24-year-old right there. He was jacked, he was good, but like, but the face, everything's too tight, and like not enough like stuff going on. Like,
Oh, Reese, I loved when you were on the calendar. She just forgets.
I did have a great grandma with dementia, and she didn't grow up around like TV and stuff, and I was in Little League. And she came over one day and she was telling me about how she saw me on the TV and stuff, and she was watching professional baseball. And she was, she was old and losing it. And I was too young to understand what was happening. So I thought she actually somehow saw me on the TV. And for like a week at school, I was like bragging to people. Yeah, I was like,
I don't blame you.
Somebody filmed my Little League game, and I guess it was on like the news or something.
Honestly,
and
that's
my mom had
sick.
to explain
That's, like,
to me,
super
like,
cool
your
in an
grandma doesn't
innocent
know
way.
what the hell's going on anymore.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, your grandma may think the world of you, but has your grandma ever thought you were black? I mean, I was stealing bases. I was all like, yeah, that's what I was doing, grandma. Absolutely. I am number 33.
Yeah. Like, imagine looking at a grown man on a professional team and being like, that's my grandson. That's Reese. Who's 7.
Reese Bo Jackson. He's just cranking him over the wall. Barry Bonds Thurberg. Again.
That's good.
He's more baseball bat than arms. And he also plays the drums somehow and turns back into white.
Yeah, I can
talent,
flip
man.
the Michael Jackson switch either way at any time, dude.
Yeah,
That would be great.
Yeah,
Dude, just like
Reese. Yeah, Reese. His pronouns are he. Okay, they're. You can't throw that joke in there.
That was insane. That was wild.
that was deserved.
I'm gonna finish that for that one.
Hey man, dude. Here's another.
Lord.
No, I'm good. I gotta.
Well, just in case.
All right. Well,
You never know.
Just emergency alcohol.
Yeah, emergency alcohol.
No, I still have this fucking
Well, you have
fucker
it.
that you gave me.
I thought that would...
Which, by the way, we're also sponsored by
Liquor.
beer. Not this beer.
The slot's open. Yeah.
Did you take yours?
Yeah.
All right. Well, fist bump me, guys. Gentlemen. Yeah, there we go.
We can do that.
Yo.
That actually significantly hindered the process of drinking.
Significant. Kinley.
The second you started going, I was like, that is triggering my gag reflex, dude.
You gotta hear the right kind of sound. Like, oh, nope, gotta fight that.
Dude, I will throw up. Please stop. But I couldn't say anything because I had a throat full of the worst I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Fireball.
Like, it'd be kind of wild if that was like actually like a secret CERN or something, some part of your show that I missed or whatnot. Now you're gonna Hulk out a little bit and I have to wrestle you for 3 minutes.
And now we push the table out of the room and everybody's favorite segment,
suplex.
What?
You guys know the deal. Reese drinks 36 ounces of pure adrenaline.
Mad honey, adrenaline, and a little bit of something special.
Well, I better get my coconuts ready to suffocate them. I can survive this.
You could totally fucking smack a douche Reese's face into the
Smack
fucking
a
hole.
douche. I hate that.
Smack a douche. I don't know.
That's fucked up.
Adam Sandler has entered the podcast. Skadoosh.
Dude.
I just like, am I the douche?
Smack a douche
It
is
didn't, at first it did not like, it wasn't like a catchphrase in my mind.
No, it is.
I wasn't like,
It's a
smack
verb.
a douche.
Yeah,
know?
smack
Like,
a douche,
Smack
Reese in the face.
Smack a douche, comma, Reese in the
Yeah,
face.
smack a douche. Reese, the douche. The douche hound. The doucher snoozer.
Addie the Falcon Herman, Clem the Executioner, Jameson, and Reese the douche.
No, you can't be a douche because we've heard you speak and we don't feel refreshed. So
Or cleansed.
You're dirtying us up, boy.
So does it smell like springtime breeze in here? So we can't do that. No lilacs, just Reese.
Reese by Reese. The dirty douche.
What would if you had a scent like a perfume commercial, but it was your unadulterated scent. It wasn't anything like what would be, like Johnny Depp did Dior, and it was him walking on a beach. It was mostly like black and white scale horses, wild horses. What's your Ben Webb scent commercial like? What's going on in that scene?
Oh man, that'd be a good one. Yeah, it'd be some odd, like slow zoom ins, kind of cut, like almost like when you see parts of the face kind of come in, a little bit of a look, and then it goes behind a veil or something like that. You just see just different parts, like a little smirk, a little grin, something with the bug-eyed, like something alarming,
like an earlobe for a second.
Yeah, you take some kind of just
dripping
little
one drop off the lobe,
little couple second clip or whatever it is, something sprayed in the air. Do a little sniff, and you try to hold it together. Just enough of it. Like you try to hold it together, but
yeah, it cuts to like just a smoking supermodel chick. She's
yeah, be some kind of ambition, milk chocolate, and inner thigh sweat. Just some kind of.
Dude, you know what'd be sick if like there's just like two girls getting like rained on, right? It's just like or like maybe even two shirtless like buffed out dudes. They're all oiled up, and then it zooms out and they're like under your arms, and then you're just like dripping sweat on them, and it's like Ben Webb's Rain, like Rain by Ben Webb, like something. Nice. It's like, oh shit, it's like, what would yours be?
Walk into a bar. You see this like shot of a guy walking into a bar, a nice cocktail bar, in a suit. It's me. I open the doors. A bunch of people are trying to take pictures and talk to me. I walk over, and I'm just saying, like, it's not always being the best, not always being the highest you can be. Sometimes you got to shut out everyone else around you, and you got to do what you do best. And I go like into the corner area of a bar. Security pushes everyone away, and there's a jar. And I walk next to the jar, and it goes a close up of me and my face, and I'm like, there's only one way to find the scent, and it's through holes you never thought. And that's the tagline. Then it zooms out, and I have my pants down, and I start almost sitting on the jar. and then I sit on the jar, and it's a one man, one jar type situation.
That's-
And then I fill it with like it's not like shit. It's like a gas.
Have
like
you been
perfume.
asked this question
No,
before?
no. I just thought of this. I fill it with like perfume, like liquid, and like a bunch of smoke and stuff.
When you pull it out, it's got a cap on it with a spray.
Yep. I was gonna say it. I have a threaded anus, so it threads down onto the cap, and then it's a.
Your
Eau de
ass is
perfume.
like some machine assembly line.
Yes.
Fucking.
Yes, it's not easy being me, and it's not easy being the best. Eau de Zach.
EAW.
While Ben was explaining his, I had a 1 second, but it felt like it lasted a whole like 5-minute commercial thought in my head, and I was like, oh.
You know what I'd want for mine? I'd want it to start off kind of like a truck commercial. You know, it's like a low to the ground camera. You see the dirt. You see how it's like a rough terrain. And you see this truck just like kicking up dust in the background. It skids to a stop. And the two doors, it's facing sideways, and the two doors open. And like the gayest cowboys you've ever seen get out. You know, they're wearing no shirt, tight jeans and suspenders and like Stetsons. You know, and they get out, they got their boots on. And it's still the low angle camera, right? It's all one shot, right? And the camera starts to tilt backwards and backwards and backwards until you get like a real like wide shot of the cowboys coming up, and you can just see them from waist up. You can just see their twinkish abs and upper body, and then they all blow their nose cowboy style like directly on the just fucking straight blow it on directly onto the lens, and then the lens is completely covered with fucking disgusting dirty gay cowboy goop. And then because you can't see anything, then then my like logo and like the scent comes up, and it's like, I don't know what it'd be called. I haven't gotten that far, but I think that advertising, just
Mucus cur.
yeah.
With a little accent over one of the U's.
Lube by Reese Thurber. Lube. Leyb.
Yeah.
Lube.
Ew. That's hateable. Yeah.
And I'd be like the middle cowboy, and like right before they start like luging or like whatever the fuck, I'm gonna like pull my suspenders all the way out and snap them right against my nipples.
Oh yeah,
get them rock hard.
Yeah, it's like the build up to a drop. Yeah.
I want to do it, like I want to act it out, but I'm really afraid that
you might fucking lube tube it. You might make sure some perfume on the table, dude.
Lube.
Yeah,
that can't be. Is that what we're gonna end?
That's
on?
45 minutes for the regular cast.
I could about picture that for the next time I hear Sandstorm. I kind of want to picture that.
Guys, that was so unfortunate. But if you want any more of this absolute beautiful, delicious atrocity that is this cast, as always, what do we got for them, Zach? What's going on that they don't know about?
Hey, they might not know about the fact that tonight there are two things going on.
Well, wait.
When this comes out,
Okay, wait.
when this comes out tomorrow, there are two things going on. We have The Sound of Music. Ben Webb at Bellevue Little Theater. Come out, please support. We really appreciate everything he does. And he is such a fucking amazing role model and a joy.
Also, you can get your own bottle of Rain by Ben Webb.
Yeah, if you go to the show and ask him hard enough.
Ask him hard enough.
Yeah, if you're three quarters,
if you are at least 3/4 chubbed, if you are hard enough,
yeah, if you're semi-chub, he won't give it to you.
Yeah,
that's all the rules. It's a donation-based, chub-based economy, and so go see him. Please support it. It seems to be an amazing production, and we will definitely be there soon. And we have Into the Fire tonight as well at Blackstone Theater. Nice. Blackstone Big Canvas Theater, right?
Yeah, well, actually, a Blackstone Theater.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we want to make that marketing kind of clear that the venue itself, because we rent and do other things with it. So Blackstone Theater, Big Canvas happens to make that their home and performing. But hey, because we got stand-up and other things at Blackstone Theater in the Blackstone District. Yeah.
Exactly. Be there if you would like. We have Wesley Phelps and I on the lineup, hosted by Taryn Perez, Charles Wertley, Ocha De La Rosa. It's going to be a goofy night.
Be a great show.
Nice. That's going to be a fun one. Yeah,
I'm opening up so that she picked fucking Pringles guy to get her ready. So thank you guys so much.
Zach will also be selling his personal scent at that show.
Yeah, Eau de Zach.
Yeah, Eau de Zach.
Yeah, which is me I'm literally on a jar with my sphincter wide open.
$5.99 if you ask him soft enough, because nobody that's that hard gets around my boy. So I will be checking. You do have to be soft to buy his scent.
Yeah, centimeter.
It might be a hard scent, but it's a soft scent to get.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. If it's more than a centimeter, you can't get my scent, Demeter.
All right.
Thank you,
and as always,
also,
what
Ben Webb. What were you going to say?
What I was going to say, I didn't think we were plugging. I was going to say, if you wanted to catch more of this cast, as always, we do have a Patreon. There is hours of extra content every single month. It is $1 to subscribe.
There's about 20 hours of extra content now.
Yeah. Nice. There. I mean, if you've ever seen any podcast that you're like, damn, that was fun. Is there more of that? Yes, is the answer.
And it's much more fun.
And since we don't post that on YouTube, since it is Patreon, it is a lot more rowdy, a lot more fun, and a lot more unhinged. Usually.
Yep, you'll be seeing. Hey, if you subscribe, this will be out tomorrow on the Patreon. The one that we're going to film right after this for the Patreon with Ben Webb. So if you want to see a rowdy Ben.
And is there anything else you want to plug
what would you like to
say
plug,
or
sir?
do or?
Just kind of echoing the Sound of Music, running several more weeks. Bellevue Little Theater, great theater in and of itself. I have yet to be to a bad show that they're putting on. They bring on some real good folks. Sound of Music is just from top to bottom a really solid production, and really glad to be a part of it. And I think I got my foot in the door to do more at that theater and other theaters. So just in general, the Blackstone Theater, I am the artistic director for stand-up there, and I serve on a little team, but I'm overseeing that. So basically I talk to the producers, get these shows up. So really proud of Taryn Perez for First Friday every month. Midwest Best is a show that's every second Friday. I'm producing that right now. This month I'll be at Sound of Music, of course, but Chinaka Asua will be hosting that thing. Nice. And you got Lavetti Vegas and Matthew Hall, Casey Eastwood, and Penelope Flowers on that. Real proud of that lineup. Third Fridays is kind of open. We're working on it, but fourth Friday, Brianna Calhorn's Fight, that debate style show. So I'm looking to grow it, get more butts and seats and all that. You want good stand-up and good improv, and we're pressing in. We just had our first sketch show ever at there, and it went really, really well. We might be running that back sometime in April when Sound of Music is done. So, I mean, top-notch improv, stand-up, and sketch, and maybe more at the same theater. BlackstoneTheater.org for more. Come get your tickets. So, yeah.
Ladies
what more could we say? Besides, we also love Quick Draw Comedy. Shout out to Quick Draw Comedy.
And shout out to not just Quick Draw Comedy, but
Smiley Comedy, Lucas Schneider.
Smiley Comedy, absolutely, Lucas Schneider, but Clem Jameson's production company. Low Gear Productions. I was thinking 1 Cent Productions, but I think that is a completely different music-related thing.
Yeah, 1%.
Yeah, that didn't sound
1
right.
cent.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you. If anybody listened to all of these shout-outs for the past, 4 minutes now,
shout out to you.
Shout out to you, and also comment shout-out for a chance to win a Kiss from Reese.
Honestly, and comment shout-out for a chance to win a shout-out.
Yeah, you'll get a shout-out on the next podcast.
And a kiss from me.
Yeah, and a kiss from Reese.
On the teeth.
On the teeth.
Not on the lips.
Yep. He might pull off your teeth, so just be careful.
I will pull off your teeth.
See you on the page.
See you on the page. Pull off your teeth.
Come and get it, Grandma.
Yeah, that's